Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Check Service Industry Podcast. I'm Reyshan Parker, and I'm hanging out at Good Fortune Market at the Water's Crossroads with the lovely Becca Goosen, who runs this fantastic little bodega that you will find on the edge of downtown Savannah. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Reyshan. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming down today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me here, because I love it. It's adorbs.
Thank you.
And we are just outside of what would be downtown. About where we're located?
Yeah, we're on Waters, just a few blocks away from Victory, just steps away from the entrance to Reyshan Park. And this neighborhood is definitely close to a lot of things, close to downtown, but it's just far enough away that it still has a lot more of that neighborhoody feel. And yeah.
It's your local neighborhood market where you can come get your good fortune on just by seeing her smile.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So when did you open, and what was your inspiration? Did you always want to have a little bodega? What's the story?
I think I always wanted to own something. My mom would definitely tell you stories about how in my childhood I was very bossy. So I think I was always presumed to be the boss of something. But, well, let's see. When did we open? We opened last August 2nd, 2024. And the weekend that we opened on a Friday. And by Sunday, we were shutting our doors because there was Hurricane Debbie. Little Debbie came to town. So for our first week being open, we were actually closed. And, but that's always kind of been a part of the good fortune, is that sometimes good fortune is not straightforward, and sometimes good fortune takes a couple bumps in the road. But we opened up our doors. We have been just here on the corner of Waters and Maupaw doing our thing.
Maupaw.
Kind of ever since. Yeah,
Waters
Maupaw.
and Maupaw. You can't forget that. It's like my paw.
Yeah.
On the water.
Or like a Southern grandma, your Meemaw, your Maupaw,
yeah. You can't forget it, guys. Don't forget it. So you have all this fun stuff. We got coffee. We have food. We have shopping. What's happening here?
Well, I really just see it as coffee, bagels, and groceries. We're doing a pretty classic bodega setup, so I really see it as Savannah's version of a bodega.
Yeah.
We got bagels that are brought to you from New York. We get them from Just Bagel in the Bronx. Put house whip schmear, high quality products on there, some local veggies. We do.
Hold on. So you're telling me that everybody who's here from New York can come have an actual New York bagel?
Yes. Our bagels are actually from New York. They're not New York style. They are from New York, and then we get them shipped down to us. And then we put house whip schmear, high quality products. It's really like a pretty simple plan. There's no gimmicks, no tricks. We're just using high quality products. We put them together in a simple fashion so you can come in and get something to eat right now, or you could get something to take home and cook later. So we have little staple groceries. Most recently, we added our deli slicer, so we do fresh sliced deli meats. And the coffee program is a little different than anywhere else in town. We're doing a multi-roastery coffee program. Yeah, so we are not using just one source, one roaster for our coffee. We're getting coffee kind of from whoever I think is doing a really great job, wherever in the country they might be located, and we're bringing those in. So you can get coffees here that you can't get anywhere else in town. Roseline from Portland, Oregon. Right now, Black and White, which is one of my favorites. They're from Asheville, North Carolina. So there's always something fun, something unique.
Fun.
Yeah.
Because you really just have like the basics, 4 major coffee brands, and all the local people just use those. But there's plenty of awesome, really good, trade-free, mold-free tested coffees out there because I'm huge on that right now. As I notice the difference as soon as I start seeing all the TikToks about how America doesn't really care about the mold on our coffee. I started looking for labels that say mold-free or mold-tested.
Yeah, there's lots of other certifications out there. And, part of the reason that we do a multi-roastery program is not only to bring something new to people, but to kind of bring the best of what our nation's roasters have to offer. So it's in the same way that a wine bar is doing like a curated wine program. We're doing a curated coffee program. So it has a point of view, but its point of view is really about quality. We really try to keep it in an approachable price point because we want people to feel like they can come in and they can afford to have what they want, but we're really going to work hard to make sure that it's the best possible product. Even if there's not 1,000 different choices in here, you're going to get the best of each one. So we will have just one espresso in, we'll have just one drip coffee, but like same for the deli meats, we have just one prosciutto right now. It's just a really high quality Italian import that's pretty affordable. Yeah.
Why do you need any other prosciutto if you already have a really good one?
Yeah.
And New York style bagels. Not style, New York bagels.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Which are apparently, according to New Yorkers, the only bagel worth eating.
I agree. I'm not from New York. I've never lived in New York, but I just appreciate a really good bagel. And yeah, the store is just a combination of things that I really like.
Awesome. So let's talk about the menu. Obviously, we got the lox going on for the
Yep, the
for
classic. We got the lox. The classic is the lox on everything. We call it the Deluxe. The carousel is our vegetarian option. The carousel comes with a bunch of different veggies on it, but most notably the sprouts are locally grown. They're grown by Brian Lambert of Tukey Greens. You can also find him down at the farmers market on Saturday mornings or at the Bluffton Farmers Market on Thursdays. So that's a really great option. One of our personal favorites is the Congregation. The Congregation is a vegan option by default, but is a really popular lunch staple because it uses hummus instead of cream cheese. So you can get a great sustenance value out of it. You're getting a lot of good, you're getting your bread, you're getting your protein.
Pickled veggies.
And pickled veggies.
A
a little
gut.
crispy. And the bib lettuce on it is hydroponically grown in South Carolina. So again, just like high quality, nice crunch, nice acid. And so the Deluxe, the Carousel, and the Congregation, those names are all very specific. And they're specific to things that used to be in this building before Good Fortune took it over.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep, right before this building got redone into the state that you see it in now, it was a church. So the Congregation is named after them. The Carousel is a very famous jazz and disco lounge that used to be here in the 70s and 80s, and it was owned by the Green family. And their son, Randy Green, he's still in the neighborhood. He comes in to say hi, to get his cup of coffee, and he always gets a Carousel. He gets it every time, and he always tells me fun stories about growing up in the disco lounge. Yeah. And then the Deluxe that's named after the Deloach family. Now, this half of the building was originally opened in the 30s and 40s as a small grocery, and it was Deloach Fine Foods, owned by William and Julia Deloach, who lived a few blocks away over on 36th. And just like me, they walk to work every day.
And it's come full circle.
Oh, yeah,
it
totally.
It started a little store. It went through a raging party spot, but church, very opposite, very opposite. And then back to a grocery store. And little fun neighborhood food spot with all the freshness. And I love that you're always reaching out to either the best or the local.
Yeah, and sometimes the best is the local option. Those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, but it is important to use local whenever possible because we want to recirculate wealth within our own community. That's an easy goal.
And you have a couple farm products in here, like you have hot sauce
from Greg's. Yep, Greg's famous.
Greg's famous. If he's not famous yet, he should be.
He is great. He's kind of pretty famous on the art market scene. He's been doing pop-ups all over. You can see a lot of his stuff. He's in a lot of different stores down on Broughton Street, so you can pick him up at a few different spots down there.
I have his card, and on the back of his card lists everywhere where his hot sauces are for sale, and you're on that card.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, he's all over town, and he's such a great guy. He's also a neighbor. He lives around the corner, too, and when he delivers our next order of hot sauce, he just rides his bicycle over, and that is exactly the kind of person that you want to pay is your neighbor. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Super help
support. We also
are
doing a really fun thing right now. We're doing Mug Club. Mug Club is really cool. It's with a local artist. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, we're not taking mug shots, but a local potter and a ceramicist here in town named Rita Strayer. She's making handcrafted mugs. They're a collection of mugs, so they're all similar, but they are unique. Each one is a little bit different. They have our horseshoe emblem on them, so you can always identify it as a Mug Club mug. But if you support a local artist who lives here in the neighborhood, then I'm going to give you a 20% discount every time you bring that mug back to me. You can get a 20% discount on any coffee that goes in that mug for the life of the mug.
So after 5 coffees, you're basically getting a free coffee.
That's the idea. Yep, is that the mug pays for itself, but we want to continue to support local artisans,
awesome.
local makers, local sprout growers, and local farmers here. We've got a ton of local products, and we've also got a lot of high quality imports.
I love it. It's like you get to live your happy little dream, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to send everybody out here for the most highest quality goods.
Yeah.
Seem to know a lot about history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole little neighborhood that we're in, it has a lot of history. Obviously, it used to be a very booming section of Savannah once upon a time, from the 40s, I imagine, all the way through into the late 70s. At the time that it started to fall apart, or
yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about when it stopped being as thriving, but I did a lot of historical research at the Georgia Historical Society right down off of Forsyth Park. I wanted to know more about the building. I wanted to know more about the neighborhood. Really, it's the 1916 Sanborn insurance maps that start showing this neighborhood coming together. So in the early 1900s, there was the more historical part of Savannah that is a lot more associated with the First Continental Congress, with First Landing Colonial, like First Colony kind of. But then really the 1900s, the area starts expanding quite a bit. And so this neighborhood starts coming together with a lot of small houses and just the crescent. The Chatham Crescent here starts, the Chatham Crescent.
And Ardsley,
And Ardsley and Baldwin Park, which we're in, the Daffin Park really starts coming up. And it's because the area was quickly expanding and they were just trying to come up with new places for people to live. So this would have been kind of the outskirts of town, and it would have been seen as more like an early suburb sort of idea. Yeah, so we really kind of start seeing 1916, 1920s it coming up.
Then a trolley to get out here?
Yes.
And this was right outside of here was the trolley.
Exactly. Waters was an unpaved road, and it had a single streetcar that went up and down all day long. So Waters Avenue was the
thoroughfare.
The economic thoroughfare through it. And so you would have come out of your neighborhood, you would have been able to get a lot of things that you needed to live a successful and happy life right here in the neighborhood. There would have been grocery stores like the one that I'm in right now. There would have been doctor's offices, barbers, butchers. There was a bicycle shop over here at one point. And then you could have gotten on the trolley and made your way all the way to downtown. Exactly, yeah. So there was not only a lot of really great public transportation out here, but the whole Waters Avenue was an economic thoroughfare that was really supporting and feeding these neighborhoods.
I love history. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's really. I love it too. It's really interesting. It's really exciting. When I first found out that this was a grocery store, I had a tearful moment. The Georgia Historic Society, when I saw William and Julia, I felt what it would be like for Julia, or I just sort of embraced and embodied what that must have been like, and I didn't feel so alone in my journey. And I also realized that I am not the inventor of anything. I am not creating something new. I am just upholding the values and the equity that was always meant to be here.
Carrying on the legacy, and everything's coming full circle, right? So it's been through its phases, right? The area's been through its phases. A lot of Savannah areas have been through phases, and now it seems like it's all finally coming back, right? So maybe in the future there will be the bike shop and the lawyer's office and the doctor's office. In 10 years, completely revitalized. You know what? I'd like to have trolleys back.
Oh yeah, me too.
Not the ghost ones, not like the ones that driving tourists around, but like actual like trolleys that you could hop on to get around town instead of have to
Yeah.
ride on the bus. Open aired?
Some cities still have them. When I lived in New Orleans, I used to ride the trolley.
Really?
Yep.
There's still
Yeah.
How do I not know that?
Yeah, lots of cities.
San Francisco still runs a trolley, or they finally turned the last one off?
Oh, I don't know. I think that they still do run the trolley.
Hey, Brian, do they still run the trolley in San Fran? They do still, in fact, run the trolley.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while since I've been there, but I have ridden that trolley in San Francisco. In fact, yeah.
It's trolleys. Trolley Station would be a good name for a restaurant around here.
Yep.
You can have it, anyone. I'll
Yeah.
come eat.
Oh, yeah. But please come down to Waters Avenue and open up a multitude of different businesses. There's actually a lot of buildings here that are in need of revitalization. I think this neighborhood has a ton of potential, but we need more people like myself, like
And to
Clinton,
give it a chance.
Yeah, who are willing to invest in the neighborhoods and in the communities that we live in. And mixed use is definitely a part of that. So mixed use just means that not only are there restaurants and bars, but there are also doctors' offices or lawyers or daycares, services that people need to be able to live a successful life.
And the world's going in the direction where we do have the ability to have and live fully functionally in a walkable distance, right? And
Yeah.
Savannah's one of the few places that you can, if you live downtown, you literally can walk and have everything that you need. Mm-hmm. Unlike every other city, we have to drive 30 minutes to an hour to get to anything.
Yeah, here you can just ride your bicycle for 10 minutes and end up on the other side of town.
It's the smallest big city ever.
It's really fun, and that's part of the charm, is that Savannah is such an accessible city. Yeah, I think it's really worth investing in and keeping it true to its nature, keeping it walkable, keeping it friendly, and keeping it close-knit.
I mean, if my neighborhood had every little thing I needed in it, I would just walk to all those little things. But I just have a bunch of neighbors because it's a suburb.
Yeah.
This still has the potential to be that full-on little city. So
Yeah.
come check it out. This place is awesome. There's a bunch of other fun stuff. There's a bookstore right over there. There's a little plant shop.
Yeah.
There's a toy store down the road.
There's a bunch, already we're kind of pushing mixed use. So I'm a bodega. You can buy food to eat from me right now. You can take food home. There's Waters Cafe, which is, more your classic restaurant cafe style. There's, in the same building as me, is a plant store and a bookstore, and all three of us are women-owned, and the building was renovated by a woman who also lives here in the neighborhood. So there's a lot of really great energy happening here.
I've walked into the bookstore, and it's like walking back into my childhood, into bookstores when you actually smell the books.
And you can get an awesome book recommendation. I cannot say enough good things about the Stacks. The Stacks bookstore is, even if you are buying a book for a person that you don't know that well, you can give them a couple of key facts, a couple of indicators about what this person might be into, or a few things. And they have always nailed those book recommendations. It's almost uncanny how they can read into somebody. Yeah.
You're going to need to get this book and go sit at their cafe.
And enjoy it,
and have some wonderful coffee and a New York bagel and read your new friend, Betsy.
Yeah, and then that reminds me, Emily, she's got a wonderful array of houseplants that she can deliver to you. She also does services where she can stop by your house or your business and continue to maintain those plants for you. Or if you just have questions or you want something repotted, she's a super knowledgeable, great supportive resource.
And cleans your air in your house. So the more houseplants you have that are the least likely to die, talking to myself here because I literally have to buy the ones that won't die or I will kill them.
Oh, but Emily is great for that too. You can tell her what kind of room, what kind of light source, and also how bad you are taking care of plants, and she will find you the perfect plant. I assure you that I myself have done this. There's multiple plants that have died in corners because they've just been forgotten, abandoned, and abused.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Emily will help find the perfect plant that wants to be forgotten.
I'm going to have to go talk to Emily about that. Because I imagine all of the plants you have around here are...
Yeah. In fact, they all are from Emily. Yep.
An instruction manual, how not to kill the plant.
Or a backup guide. If you just need a hand to hold, you can always go back to her and say help, help, and she will absolutely help you out. You can be a successful plant daddy.
That's awesome. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much for letting me in here and hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Where can we find you online? Can we find you on Facebook? Where can we find you? Where can we know more about Good Fortune Market? It's
goodfortunesavv.com. Good Fortune Savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and you can always find me at the corner of Waters and Maupaw, located at 23. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not my right address. It's 2413 Waters Avenue.
2413 Waters Avenue.
2413 Waters Avenue.
The corner of right down from Victory.
Yeah. Yep.
Whole fun little area. Definitely get over here, hang out with Becca, check out the other stores, do some little shopping. You can spend an afternoon just kind of hanging out around here, and it's so worth it. Get out of wherever you're at.
Thank you, Reyshan. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Becca. Thanks for that. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Love you. Mean it. Get over to the market and hang out with this awesome lady. Cheers.
Order up.